So in this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about improvisation. One of the things that younger improvisers will say to us is, we don't know what to play. And so we thought we'd tackle a few things that you can do to take some of the guesswork out of improvising. And the tune that we're going to use is the Thelonious Monk tune for the All State Etude. The first thing I think that you can do is to check out a recording of the tune. Luckily with Monk, he recorded this tune a few times, and there are things that you can do or recordings that you can check out. You can also play along with it. I'd really encourage that, because it's very valuable to play and to try to figure out what the musicians were playing. It's great to copy, it's great to play along, and very worthwhile endeavor. Secondly, you've been given a lead sheet with the audition materials, and now kind of comes the work to analyze what's going on. And the first step in that is to be able to recognize the chords and know the notes that go in them. So for what I like to have students do is to have them arpeggiate the chords, root, third, fifth, and seventh of the tune that they're playing in. So I'll have Scott demonstrate that.
2, 3, 4.
Great. Once you're able to do that over a tune in time, then the next step is to improvise using only those chord tones. Now, you've got some parameters on you in terms of what notes you can play, but keep in mind that we haven't said anything about the rhythm, and that's where you can take some creative license and play things and rhythms that you're hearing. So we're going to demonstrate that now. 2, 1, 2, ready, go. So the second step now, once you're comfortable with chord tones, are to introduce more notes that are in the scale. And for the first 8 bars of this tune, all of the chords are dominant. And so the scale that goes along with dominant chords is the Mixolydian scale. So that's a major scale with a flat 7. Flat 7. So the next step then would be to practice these chords using and run the scale up and down. So I have the students run the scale up to the 9th and back down. So first chord B flat 7, second chord E flat 7, skipping ahead to the concert A flat chord, A flat 7. Okay, now when we get to bars 10, 11, and 12, we have one chord that's a little different, which is, bar 9, which is the minor chord. So C minor, that's a 2 chord. We're going to interpret that as Dorian. So that's got a flat 3rd and a flat 7th. That sounds like this. So again, practicing the tune using the scales, then practice improvising using more scale tones along with chord tones. 2, 1, 2, ready, go. final step that you hear jazz musicians do quite often is the use of chromaticism. And we start to see this happen quite a bit in the bebop era. And specifically what I'm referring to with chromaticism is the chromatic resolution to a chord tone. So for example, the first chord in the blues, B flat 7, second chord, E flat 7, you want to play something that resolves chromatically into the next chord. So for example, something like this. It's those kinds of things that have been used in bebop and continue to be used today. But the use of chromaticism, it has two functions. One, on a broader scale, it's a way to create some tension, but specifically in terms of bebop, when used correctly, for example within the bebop scale, it can help you put chord tones on strong beats. So we'll close with playing in a little more chromatic. 2, 1, 2, ready. Well, I hope you found some tips that have been helpful and perhaps take the guesswork out of improvising. Thanks.